Happy Africa Day, everybody. Welcome to the African Ancestry Experience, where we discuss how we as Black people view ourselves and Africa. And on this special day, we're sharing a special African Ancestry reveal of Queen Afua. She's a New York Times bestselling author, holistic health practitioner, wellness coach, and pioneer in the green foods movement. You don't want to miss this, so stay tuned. Cause I wanna know ya.
I wanna know ya. Cameroon, Guinea-Bissau, Sierra Leone. Gotta let me show ya. Nigeria, Bioko Island, Liberia.
The African Ancestry Experience is all about sharing identity-focused conversations with the African diaspora. You know how we do here: trace your DNA, find your roots, and then explore who you are. I'm going to shout out to all the African Ancestry fam who's catching us on the replay. And for those of you who are down with the AAOC, I want to see your country flags in the chat. It's Africa Day. Who y'all representing today for Africa Day? I see you. Iowa Pele and Herman, Wimpayande, everybody's in the house. Good to see you. Thank you all so much for being here and for representing. We got to see your flags because Queen Afua might be your cousin, so make sure you have your flags ready. Now, for everybody who's with us tonight, you're all at different stages of your African ancestry journey. Some of you are OGs. You've done this, you know where you're from. And so over on AfricanAncestry.com, we have some resources that you can share with others. But for those of you who haven't taken a test yet, I recommend that you start with the Matriclan test, which you can get over on AfricanAncestry.com, or you can take our Find Your Tribe quiz. And we have the African Ancestry blog that's full of content. I want to make sure that you guys get all the resources that you need in order to make an informed decision. Now, every week we give away some African Ancestry swag to the first new person to join us in the evening. So whoever wins, Wendy's going to put your name up on the screen and you will send us your mailing address. The gift tonight is an identity box, and the identity box is full of all kinds of, we've got art in there, we've got Top Chef recipe cards, we've got journal, we've got Black History flashcards, we got the Remember Who You Are study guide, and much, much more. So good luck to whoever the winner is. You know, I always depend on Wendi for that one. But I want to make sure you guys like us, that you share, that you subscribe, and that you set the notification so that you don't miss a single episode. Iowa Pele, oh, congratulations. Okay, yeah. I'm glad. Good to see you as a winner tonight. Thank you so much for your support of African Ancestry. You guys may have seen his incredible videos over on YouTube and on Instagram. All right, y'all. So speaking of emojis, I need you to get your queen emojis ready because we are honored. When I say honored, we are very honored to welcome Queen Afua to the African Ancestry Experience. We've been trying to get her on here, and here she is. Hello.
Greetings. I've been waiting. We've been waiting for a while.
Listen, you've been waiting so patiently.
My whole life. Here we are.
Oh my goodness. I totally understand. But listen, it all worked out because who could be better to celebrate Africa Day with? And you get to find out where in Africa you're from on Africa Day. Not everybody's having that experience.
Yes, indeed. I'm so grateful. It's divine timing.
It is. And I don't know if you know, but the theme this year for Africa Day is it focuses on nutrition and the importance of addressing malnutrition and food insecurity. So there's a lot of what do we call it?
Everything.
Yes. Oh, with you today. I have the honor of revealing your results a little bit later in the show, but are you doing anything today, or have you done anything yet to commemorate Africa Day?
Well, every day that I work for my community, I am doing something to serve Africa, to return to ourselves, to become whole. To be holistic is African natural lifestyle. That's our culture. Actually, everything in my research, from aromatherapy to acupressure, reflexology, hydrotherapy, astrology, it's all African natural lifestyle. They call it New Age, but it's from antiquity. So every day that I do this work and serve my community, whether doing a detox or learning how to eat foods from the garden to heal themselves holistically and naturally, it's this Africa celebration. We're celebrating another African coming through, healing
I
them.
wonder, was that your path to this work, Queen Afua? Did you come there? Did you come into this work thinking that you wanted to embrace or share or strengthen African traditions, or did you come into the work some other way and then learn of the African connections?
Well, since I was 16, I was very much connected to my culture. It was in the 60s. So, that was the Great Awakening that we started to study dress and hair and language and tradition. So that was the era that I came into, and it was my awakening. I remember I was in my family's kitchen having dinner, and I heard the drum for the first time in my neighborhood, and I stopped eating and I ran out the house at 16, and I was looking, where is this drum coming from? And it was in the park, 2 blocks away from it. I ran to it, and I just stood there, in an amazement. And I felt the love of Africa in the rhythm. And then from there, I started to learn African dance, and I became a dancer. And I formed a company in Brooklyn. So, and I helped to make the garments, African cultural garments and head wraps and all of that. So I got it early on. And then my father was a Garveyite. So, I had my race pride, and I loved my people because it was from a child on up. So I just continued loving my people through health and well-being, because if we're sick people, we're not functioning at our optimal state of well-being, and families are hurting and broken and traumatized. So I come in to support us based on our culture. Returning home to our own body temple is a big work.
Yeah, thank you for doing that work, because we have a lot of healing that needs to be done. As you were growing up with this African consciousness and dancing and celebrating Africa in all that you do and did you ever wonder where in Africa you came from? Was that even a thought?
Well, I went to Ghana to live, actually, about 25 years ago. I packed everything. And I said, I'm going home. And then I let my children, 3 small children, I said, I'm coming back. I'm going to bring you back. I'm going to set everything up. So I did intend on actually leaving. And life had me to come back, and I understood it. I would have never written a book, Sacred Woman, if I was in Ghana, or Heal Thyself book. Those books all came when I returned back. I knew I had a commitment to my African family here and to stabilize. And I feel that I'm doing it, and I've accomplished that goal. So many families are better because I've been doing this for 50 years. So many families are much better. And I do it every day, 7 days a week. So I've been, highly committed. In terms of Ghana, I saw my face in Ghana. I don't know it's there, but I saw my father's face.
Okay.
And I said, just the nose, just the shape, the face. And I said, oh, I wasn't sure, but I felt like that.
How did you choose Ghana as the place to move to?
It was always told that Ghana was the most welcoming, the most harmonious people to go to. I thought about going to Nigeria, but it's kind of rough, but I got a message. I don't know if it's Nigeria. I got a word from my daughter was talking, and she got some words from my aunt, and who's in her 80s. It was passed down about Nigeria. So I'm not going to even speak on it until I really hear it. Like I said, well, that's confirmation. So I've always wanted to know. And I'm sitting here saying I'm grateful that finally I had help to make the connection, because that's your roots. Without your roots, you perish. You don't have a foundation to build on. I've been able to do quite, well, but in terms of the separation, my parents was my stability. I had both my parents in the family, but because we've been stolen, a broken people, our families cannot function in their optimal state. So this is a part of the medicine, to know your roots and your foundation.
I love that this is part of the medicine, to know your roots and your foundation. Queen Afua, as you said, you have been doing this work for a very long time.
Mhm.
And I know that, we've gone through different movements in that time period. And of course, life evolves and things change. Since 2020, when we began experiencing the pandemic, have you seen a significant shift in the needs of Black people from a healing perspective?
Well, actually, I call this the Great Awakening. What I recognize that a lot of times we were straddling the fence,
Mm.
not sure if they want to make a change. We felt like we had it that way. But when this pandemic hit and people were dying, or families were dying away, and friends and coworkers and people in your community, people started to say, "Wait a minute, there's got to be another way." And so many came to me and who were thinking about it for years and said, "I got to do something about it because I don't see any way out." And sometimes many families were losing their families. They'd go into the hospital, we never see them again. So they wanted to really holistically heal themselves. So I was able to give a service. I did a 21-day free detox, and people came from all walks of life in our community to do this healing together. So that was to boost up the immune system. So I saw the shift. I saw the change. I remember I got a call from Beverly Bond, Black Girls Rock, and she said, "We're frightened. We don't know what to do." But I said, "But I know what to do. It's about boosting your immune system up um, and clearing out your respiratory, because I connect to the respiratory because I had chronic asthma as a teenager.
Mm.
So I've mastered how to use plants and herbs and foods and water therapy and breathing exercises and inversion therapy to clear out the lungs and the sinus. So I was able to share the protocols. I created 9 protocols to actually empower your immune system and your respiratory system. So I saw a shift, and so a lot of people started to make real clear decision to begin to take the journey of taking on a holistic lifestyle, which again, I'm going to say African natural lifestyle. It's ours, and it's our birthright to be well.
Mm. It definitely is. Now, we were chatting with Kazi a little bit earlier, and he told me be sure to ask you about the film.
Oh, well, definitely.
Please tell me about the film.
The documentary. It's a documentary, a Sacred Woman docuseries, and it's 8 episodes, literally. And this was produced by Tehuti Films.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a 2-year process, but it's a lifelong process. And how I see this docuseries, it's a quilt of African people. I think about the patchwork quilt from Sweet Honey in the Rock, that beautiful song that was my soundtrack was I was writing the book Sacred Woman. And this quilt, I'm a part of the quilt. And this quilt has all these colors and shapes of what makes us whole and what makes us well, body, mind, spirit, economically, emotionally, relationship, and all of that. So I see this docuseries as a quilt of all the relationships that impacted me, that I impacted, that families. I've been here long enough on this journey to generational healing. I've watched, well, actually, grandmother, mother, and daughter go through the rites of passage with me. Been here long enough to witness that. I'm about to go into a 4th generation in a minute. And so that's what this is about. It really just shows the walk of a healer, which I'm a part of a community of healers. I look at African women as the original healers of planet Earth. And when we take on that position, and our families become well. So my life may be an inspiration to help others to walk a path. And so from that, there's been women begin to start their own businesses from this walk. They begin to be feeling not disempowered, but empowered, because my husband may have high blood pressure or prostate issues, and she starts to use plant-based lifestyle to help him to recover. Her children may be stressed out, having some learning issues, maybe some respiratory issues. A lot of our children are suffering from respiratory issues. She knows what to do. She goes in that kitchen lab and she knows that tea, that juice, that herb, that soup, that salad, that dressing. And every meal is a healing opportunity. So going through my life, the first episode really went through my life. I was so surprised that Tehuti Films was able to unearth so much, because I haven't been able to keep things, because I've been moving from different locations and growing and healing and studying and traveling. But for him and his wife to be able to keep up with my life and share it. So maybe all, I think that this, the work that you do to have us reconnect was very connecting when I saw, what I was, my process. I was just moving to the next experience, the wellness, next workshop, class, seminar, group, all of that. When I saw the episode of the dance, I was moved, because I love to look at documentaries. It does something to my soul. I feel so rooted and strong. So when I looked at Alvin Ailey's and his dance life and others and their artistic self, and I said, oh, I'm in that number. It is amazing, because I came into healing because I was so sick, and I got well. And when I got well, I got caught up in the fire of it. And I said, oh, this is a miracle. This is amazing. You mean we don't have to be sick? And my art side was not my central piece, but I started as an artist, and, singing, dancing, acting. And when I got into the healing, it just took me by storm, and I just kept going. But I have always kept the art with me, because that's our culture.
Right.
We taught through dance, and we taught, and we kept the stories, because the stories is our tradition, and it tells who we are, what we are, where we came from. So it's the storytelling, it's the dancing, it's the drumming. So I incorporated into Sacred Woman. And so we do the drama and the play, and it shows up in this documentary, the drama. We have wonderful mothers, daughters, sisters, friends who give their testimonies, but we also have artists. And, artists, they call them stars. Well, the mother star is Mother Newt, the sky mother. But they call them stars because they have the bright light, because so many people go into them and love their music and their artful work. And so they're lifted up so high. So when the artists say, let's heal, let's women, we have the power to transform our lives. We don't have to suffer from womb issues, the fibroid tumors. Let's do this healing. It inspires a mass of us, so that we don't have to be sick. We can be well on a mass level, and just raise our frequency and have whole families. A whole family is everything. When the family's healed, you have a healthy nation, healthy people. So the documentary is bringing that attention, and I just want to, and we show it. We're in our fourth now series, and so every 2 weeks we Tehuti Films gives it another journey of my life and our lives.
And so where can we see it?
Well, check my website. I didn't know I was going to have all the questions. I thought I was going to go right to the what's happening in my life. Okay, let me go to this. Is
Okay.
We have queenafua.com.
I understand.
It's actually a Sacred Woman Series.com. SacredWomanSeries.com.
Yes.
Okay, SacredWomanSeries.com. All right.
Nice.
Now you have it.
Thank you.
I have a wonderful team. Give thanks and praise.
And you also have man heal thyself now, right?
Yes, we have Man Heal Thyself, Warriors, Rites of Passage. This is the fourth season. Supernova Song, Hip Hop Medicine Man, my son, he leads it out. And Hallelujah Walcott, Queen Esther, my aunt never had my sister, her son, they work together leading this out. And a part of what makes that work too is that we have 12, I call them healing juggernauts. These are 12 powerful leaders. We have holistic healers. We have financial leadership, spiritual healers in it. So it really covers a gamut of what men need to be whole. And women, when they get themselves in alignment and become healthy, they want it to reflect in their home with their mate. So now we have the balance. And we're seeing some couples that were on the brink of divorce. And through the female side of the family, the woman's side of the family, she healed herself and she took the rites of passage. And then our men began to do the same, and they trained. Also, we see the relationships become so much stronger and vibrant. So it's very important that we do both a rites of passage for women, a rites of passage for men. Well, that's our culture, which is what you're bringing us back to our roots. It's our culture.
when we do reveals for people and their ancestry is Sierra Leone, one of the things we talk about is the Sandy Society for Women, which helps initiate girls into womanhood, and the Poro Society for Men, which helps initiate boys into manhood. So, you know, every culture has that. And I really appreciate that you have raised our awareness of how important that is and made a way for us as people in the African diaspora to be able to do this work. Now, I know you already said it. You're like, where am I from? You're asking me all these questions.
That's okay. That's okay. I just know. I know. You know, why am I even listening to her? What was the, so, okay, I received it.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Well, we have our family, the African Ancestry family, is looking forward to finding out where you're from as well. And we have a quick clip to show people just how easy it was for us, for you to take our test. Wendy's going to show that now.
Connect your ancestors. That's kind of mystical.
What's interesting to me is you make it look so graceful. It's not easy to look graceful while you're swabbing the inside of your cheek.
That's all a part of the feminine power, you know, to keep
exactly. What were you feeling in that moment when you were doing the swabbing? Do you remember?
Yes. Wow. It was a wow moment. It was okay. It's going to actually happen. And I would get up at sometimes 12, 1 o'clock in the morning, and I'm looking at these infomercials about just such an inner exploration. Historians would talk about this type of exploration to really find out your roots. And so I said, this is my moment. It's my time. And it's just perfect. Mm-hmm.
Well, what we did for you is we traced your maternal ancestry. So the test you took is the matriclan test, and using your mitochondrial DNA, which you've shared with all of your children, and that you and your brothers and sisters inherited from your mother, and she got it from her mother, and she got it from her mother. That DNA doesn't change for thousands of years. And so when you sent us your swabs, the lab was able to unlock the code, if you will, of your mitochondrial DNA. And then we compared it to mitochondrial DNA from people all over the continent to look for the same code. And when you share the same code, when your DNA is the same, then you have to share ancestry with that group of people. And we're so honored, Queen, that you chose African Ancestry, entrusted African Ancestry with your genetic information. As I told you when we met on Instagram some time ago, we destroy the DNA. African Ancestry is the only company that does not sell or share our customers' genetic information. So now that we have your result, your DNA is gone.
Okay, so it's safe. It was in safe hands.
It's in safe hands.
Yeah, I had to wait for the moment that it would be in safe hands, I would think. Yeah, thank you.
Do you have any ideas? Were there any guesses in your family about what we would find?
Well, I had a story about a Nigerian family member who was maybe, I don't know what side of the family, but he was in the village walking by himself, and what could be considered a minister came up to him and told him about a place that he needed to go to, something positive he wanted to give him. I didn't find out what that was, and it came from one of my 9 aunts, and so when he went to this place that was the bottomless pit, you know, that was when he was chained, and that's the only story I heard that was from Nigeria.
Well, we have a lot of guesses in the comments. People are throwing out their guesses. We got some Nigerians, we got some Cameroons, we got some Fula. So now is the time where I'm going to welcome you into the African Ancestry family. So we traced your maternal line and we found matches with your maternal DNA among people living in a more central West African country. The country is called Gabon.
Gabon.
And within Gabon, you share ancestry with the Fang people. And so your history as an artist, your history as a healer, your history as someone who has focused on green foods, all leads back to the Fang. So one of the things I love to share about the Fang is that their art influenced Picasso. So Fang masks are very well recognized masks. And for everyone who is looking, you see the Fang mask on the left side of the screen, and you see Picasso on the right side of the screen. I mean, talk about cultural appropriation. He didn't even appropriate. He just
took it directly. Well, that's everything. Exactly. That makes sense. Everything's stolen legacy, stolen culture. Yeah, they're fed off of us, and they still continue to feed off of us. You can see it, so evident. Wow.
Exactly. And the other thing that stood out for me, while this is certainly true in many African cultures, among the Fang, they're actually famous, well known for their work with plants, for their work with herbs. And there's one plant in particular that's called, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, Iboga, Iboga, which is used in their sacred rituals and ceremonies. So I just thought, a lot of times we do these, we reveal this previously unknown information, and we find these connections that are undeniable.
Yes, it's in the bloodline. Yeah, I always talk about that things are passed down through the bloodline, our thoughts, our actions, our deeds. So I can see that. How do I connect to those people? I mean, is there a connection that I can't just walk in and say, I'm your cousin, I think.
Well, you can do that. But we have an online community over on Facebook that people are sharing information, they're sharing connections. We also are working to expand our African Ancestry family reunions, but you're in Los Angeles, and I know that you are, you talked about others who are stars. In my opinion, you are one of the brightest stars that are in Los Angeles. And Samuel L. Jackson recently, we traced his ancestry to Gabon, to the Benga people, and he did a whole documentary on his trip and his experience traveling back to Gabon. And so I think we can help you find some connections within your Los Angeles community as well.
I love that. I would absolutely love that. And I know my children would love it. Thank you.
Yes. So this is your ancestry for you, your children, their children. Not only will future generations have the legacy of all of the amazing healing work that you've done for us and that you've taught us to do for ourselves, but now they'll come into the world knowing their African legacy through your maternal line. And it's an honor to have you as part of the African Ancestry family.
Thank you. Thank you for gathering the pieces, the body members. I will thank you for my lifetime. It took a while, for me to get to this place my whole life. And this is something I encourage everyone to do. Because as I said, it's our medicine. To know your roots is your power.
It is. And, normally we'd like to know, in closing with our guests, what kind of legacy they would like to leave. I feel like we know you've already left a legacy, but is there anything else that you haven't done that we can look forward to experiencing from you?
I've been just given a gift of 22 acres of land as a gift, 100%, in Somerville, Georgia. And it just happened about 2 weeks ago. No, it's actually, I got the deed in my hand a week ago. And It's a part of a community that Sister Barnett, Dr. Barnett is building. And someone talked to her and said, a sacred woman spoke to her named Joy, and said, excuse me, and said that Queen Afua is on the same path and page that you are in terms of building community. So we met, we sat down, I walked the land, and we are going to have a birthday for that land. It's going to be called the City of Wellness, and it is a freedom land. And I will be calling others to come on the land and heal and detox. I'll build a city. I've been talking about the city from a book that I've written, City of Wellness, for the last 9 years. So that is the beginning. And after this happened, it's within a week's time, others said, I have 50 acres over here. I want to build. Someone says, I have 40 acres over here. I want to build. I said, well, let me get this built up. African culture, you build one house, and then you help me build my house, and I'll come and help you build your house, and we'll just build houses of wellness and land plots of wellness and grow foods from the garden again, so we're not caught up with the junk and the GMO foods and the poisonous foods without seeds. We're starting from the land again, and then Africa is wherever we are. It's in our blood, and so it's in the land, and so we're going to spread Africa in the whole planet. That's what I want to give. I want to continue to give what I was given from my beginnings. I got well on this wellness journey, and I want to continue to make that legacy, and I believe that it will grow beyond my life, for our people.
Ashe. Thank you so much, Queen Afua, again, for everything that you do. It was an honor to be able to talk with you again, and we'll definitely be in touch with you about some connections with people in Gabon.
Because I want to have a family reunion now.
Nice.
All the way.
Nice. We can help you make that happen.
I want to see that happen. Thank you.
Have a very good night. Thank you again, everybody. Please put the Queen emojis and the Gabon flag emojis in for our newest African Ancestry family member, Queen Afua. Have a good evening, Queen.
Thank you.
So, listen, this is so exciting. You all know I didn't cry this time. I usually am on here boo-hooing, but we can't make this up. Cannot make this up. And it's just an honor to be able to do this work. I appreciate all of you all coming on and supporting everyone who learns where they're from, welcoming them into the family. We are a family, and I hope that you are members of the African Ancestry online community. If you're not, going over to take the test, get your kid ID number, go over to the online community and do the registration so that you can connect with other people who have the same roots as you. And today is Africa Day. Remember, I talked about that. So if you want to celebrate Africa, we're doing a special just for today only over on AfricanAncestry.com with 10% off of any of our Africa gifts. So the journals, the t-shirts, the pendants, the identity box, what else? All the t-shirts. You can get your Cameroon t-shirt, you can get your Gabon t-shirt, you can get your royalty t-shirt. What else do we have? Journals, notebooks, identity pins, all of those things. I kind of feel like her now. I don't remember everything that I'm supposed to be thinking about right now, but I'm going over to AfricanAncestry.com. The code is Africa Day 22. And please, please, please remember to like, subscribe. Whoa. I'm looking a little fuzzy. Like, subscribe, and share. I'm going to go since my camera seems to be timing out. It's reached its limit. I want to thank you all for joining us. Next week, our guest will be... I don't know who are... Our guest next week will be Michael Friend. He is the CEO and founder of the Minority Coalition for Precision Medicine. Dr. Kittles will be with us next week, talking up all things science as we do on the first live of every month. So I hope you'll join us for that. Shout out to Wendi Cherry, who's our Uber producer, for making this happen tonight, and to Queen Afua and her whole team for making this happen. I'm going to get out of here. This is kind of like a surreal look. This is our new surreal image. Until we meet again, everybody, may you be happy, may you be healthy, and may you be whole. Have a very good night.
I wanna know ya, Cameroon, Guinea-Bissau, Sierra Leone, gotta let me show ya, Nigeria, Bioko Island, Liberia.